That's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up with a Japanese-made Jackson Pro Series Kelly that's modified. Well, here's the story. I just came across this Facebook marketplace listing for a Jackson Kelly. So it's supposedly in 1996. There's a made in Japan sticker on it, completely stock, except the neck pickup was swapped. Perfect working order. Floyd Rose works really well and stays in tune. So I am talking to the seller right now, and we're pretty close to agreeing on a trade-in. So this could be really interesting. So I'm trading in my Randall amp and Beckmer cab for a guitar. Sad day, but I kind of don't use it anyways because I live in an apartment building, and I also don't think my wife would like it if I were to install that in the living room. So driving down to Quebec tomorrow, which is a 5.5 hour drive just to get there. So 11 hours of driving tomorrow. So it's going to be a long day. Sad day because I do love that amp, but I will get a lot more use out of a guitar. So, yeah. This has to be one of the weirdest trade-ins or exchange or whatever I've ever done. So basically I drove the 6 hours to go to Quebec, and I met up with the guy who was selling the guitar at his house. He was waiting for me outside. Turns out he has no idea about the guitar, what it is or something. Says, it's good. Usually, every time I've sold a guitar, bought something, you plug it in, you test it out. And he was like, here, I know it's good, all right, thanks. And thanks for the amp, and gave me my stuff. And I was like, this kind of feels really weird. Am I being had? And as luck would have it, while I was driving down, there was a guitar shop 5 minutes away, a small Long and McQuaid. So I drove to the guitar store and asked the staff there, hey, I just bought this guitar and I don't know if I'm being had or whatever, can I test it out? And the guys were super cool over there. Yeah, bring the guitar over, let's put it on the bench, let's test it out. And one's like, dude, I love your Slayer cap, I have the same one, I fucking love Slayer. I'm like, oh, cool. So I ended up an hour there and checking out the guitar, checking out the electronics. Big shout out to the guys at that Long and McQuaid. I got super great service. So thanks guys, you guys were awesome. So I'm on my way back, and I will definitely need to put in a lot of work to get this guitar set up and working great. But the guitar itself seems awesome, just really, really badly maintained and out of shape. A 2002 Pro Series Jackson Kelly, made in Japan. It's a KE3, if I remember well. I didn't know this particular model, so I went to a Jackson fan page on Facebook, and I sent him what I believe was the serial number, because the guy was telling me it's a 1996 and I don't know much about it. So a few guys came back to me and they're like, no, dude, that's not it. That's a 2002 Japanese made Jackson, a Pro Series. And they sent me pictures of the actual model and what it should the specs and everything. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is a real guitar. I wanted to be sure that I wasn't getting a cheap, Chinese knockoff or something. But the guy who sold it to me didn't know a lot about it. So the pickups had been swapped. So there's an EMG HZ passive in here. There's a Seymour Duncan in here, but as you can see, it's not, F space. It's not made for use with the Floyd Rose system. So the pole pieces don't align with the strings. The plastic pickup rings are completely broken off. So if you're playing, it just hits and kind of cuts the end of your finger. The Floyd Rose was set up so bad that it was so down into the body cavity that the Floyd could not move. All the fine tuners were completely maxed out. The guy told me, I think one of those the locking nuts is stripped. The worst setup I've ever seen in my life, and it was in pretty bad shape in the sense that it was really dirty. The fretboard was totally dry, and the Floyd Rose arm kind of doesn't work because there's no washers in it. It's metal to metal, so it gets stuck, and you almost need a plier to move it. And but yeah, the guitar was just in super bad shape in the sense of not destroyed, but just awful setup, and it needed some love. So what I did when I got it, all right, I immediately put some lemon oil on the fretboard to lubricate it a little bit. I also put some lube on the Floyd Rose pieces that were completely almost seized. Now they're working great. I put the guitar in a drop C with new strings and adjusted the Floyd Rose, so it's working now, but the spring tension is not great. All right, so what are we doing? So I got some new pickup rings. I also have some Floyd Rose noiseless springs because those things are quite noisy right now. I have a new Floyd Rose push-in style arm. I've never tried that before. Hope it fits. This is supposed to be, it's a Jackson branded Floyd Rose, but it's supposed to be at 1000 series. The missing piece just got in the mail today, and kind of really stoked. Already cut the box open, but wanted to take a look, and oh yeah. So these were the missing pieces. So the pickups are the Marzio Utopias, which are Steve Vai's signature pickups. Now I got these as a gift from an anonymous donor, but yeah, long story short, great dude who's been supporting the channel and helping me out a lot. With a lot of great advice and a lot of critiques and great stuff. And yeah, I don't think he wants a shout out, but I'll just say you know who you are, dude, if you're watching this, and please know that everything is super appreciated, and I can't fucking believe you sent me these, because I was kind of nervous when I saw them at first. Not at first, but in the product photos, because it looks really baby blue, and I was yeah, I'm not a huge blue guy, and I wanted this guitar to be as evil as possible, and I was this isn't gonna work. But dude, it's more a little bit more electric blue, and I'll say this, in real life they look freaking amazing. So yeah, can't wait to put these on. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never soldered pickups before. I ordered a little cheap solder machine, and we'll try. So no big video productions for this one. No lavalier mics or room mics or anything. We're winging it because yeah, kind of nervous. I'm not sure about a lot of stuff. This is a mess. We can definitely tell that it's not a pro job. This particular guitar has basically a pickup selector and no tone knob, so that's going to be a little bit easier. And who the hell needs a tone knob for metal, right? The bridge pickup is now installed. It's working. So anyone asking like why I left a string on was to test the guitar out. Because if I were to just plug it in and then like hit the pickup like most people do and it goes tick, 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 I'm like, oh great, I have power. Yeah, that doesn't tell me if I touch the string if I'm having a ground issue. Time to test if it works. So got signal on this one. Yeah, no ground hum. So this one works. This one works, and this one is off, perfect. And if I'm in the middle position, both are off. Oh yeah, so just one string to test it out. So we're taking off the Floyd and we're going to install this right here, Floyd Rose push-in style arm doll. Really easy install. I just took out the old one and screwed this in. This one has a set screw, so I'll be able to adjust the tension on the arm, because I don't like it when it's like totally loose and flops around. I kind of like it about like this. So the next upgrade, some Floyd Rose noiseless springs. Working on adjusting the Floyd Rose, which is probably going to take a few days, just in the sense of, you know, getting it to like settle in the right place, since I'm doing a new tuning, new springs and everything. What I will be using for strings, 1048 Ernie Ball Cobalts. I love the Cobalts. They work really well. So I'm a 10 to 52 guy for drop C, so for D standard 10 to 48 going to be probably really good. The guitar is awesome now. Everything works really good. So what's left to do is basically adjust the truss rod and then the action and the intonation. And after watching one of Rob Arnold's videos, I got the new Music Nomad precision gauge kit to, like, you know, do a proper setup, because truss rods are the one thing that we're all like scared to screw up. And every single video or tutorial or anything, just, you know, they look at the neck and go, yeah, this is straight. I'm like, how the heck do you know it's straight? You know, I have one of those how do you call it, flat ruler bar thingy, neck alignment tool. And, you know, I would look at it and, all right, it's not like perfectly straight, or this is straight, or there's like a tiny gap, you know. So the idea of like neck bow, neck relief, what's perfect, what's the perfect amount of relief, that's like, it's kind of like a mystery. But for this, I brought out my Donner Arena 2000, just to be sure I'm completely in tune. One way to know this is an actual Japanese Kelly. The Japanese Kellys don't have a normal 4mm truss rod adjustment. That would be an Allen wrench. They have this like Gibson style truss rod adjustment. So you need one of these tools, which is kind of like a little like pipe wrench to adjust it. So if it's lightly touching, I don't need to adjust it. So, dang, this is perfect. So, okay, so I don't need to adjust the truss rod, which is awesome because that's the one thing I hate the most in the world. So, perfect. So I can go to string action now. I'm definitely a low action guy. And we are at exactly 0.4. So nothing really major to do here. So I said before the float was perfect, but seems to have moved a little bit. So a lot of people are gonna go, well, your float's pretty damn perfect, Dan. No, it's not. Look, as you can see, the back of the plate here is a little bit more raised than here, and I want it completely flush. You know, it would work fine, but you know, if we're doing it, let's do it like perfectly, you know. So basically, after just tightening the strings just a tiny bit, and just on this side, on the low E string, and then just slowly working my tension back up and adjusting it, we can see that the float is dead on. It's like completely straight on both sides. So perfect now. But since I did move the float a tad bit, it's probably going to have changed the action of the strings. So we're going to recheck the action. So basically we can see that by adjusting the float just a tad bit, I was exactly at 0.5, and now I'm just a hair, you know, below the line. So I'll need to just raise the bridge a little bit. And now it plays really good, no buzzing, everything's great. Bridge still needs a little bit of time to like set up properly. If it doesn't stay in tune, or if it buzzes after a while, you know, I'll readjust it, but I really prefer really low action on my guitars, especially since I'm not a great lead player. Low action really helps. Basically what's left to do is the intonation. So when I got the guitar, the saddles were like all completely maxed out. And since the bridge didn't move and everything was like totally screwed up, I just basically eyeballed the intonation. It probably happened to every one of us. We play, let's say, like just basically a simple power chord, or a chord that, you know, requires 3 fingers, and it just doesn't ring true. There's always like something weird, and then you look at your tuner and like, oh, this string's perfectly in tune, this string's perfectly in tune, this string's perfectly in tune. So why is it sounding weird when I'm playing like just a bar chord? And it's intonation. It's basically just intonation. So like I said, it needs to be the exact same on the 1st fret as on the 12th fret. So just this process, and we're just gonna have to either pull these back or pull these closer, depending on if we're flat or sharp on the 12th fret. So I'm definitely not filming this process because it's super time consuming and, well, honestly a pain in the butt, but it's definitely worth it to have like an instrument that like rings true and plays well. So let's see what it sounds like after being intonated. The guitar is pretty much done. Everything's almost perfect, but there's one problem still. Yep, this guitar has really bad neck dive. And the reason for that is where the strap button is placed. So the strap button is placed here, which is not great. If I compare that to my X series Kelly, the X series has a strap button right here. So it balances out the guitar way better. Now, another problem with that is that having the strap button here, since this is already an offset body, it tends to go more like this, right? But with the strap button where it is, it tends to make the guitar go here. This is where it sits normally, which is really not comfortable. You know, to get into a comfortable position, you kind of need to push it with your fretting hand, so it's not very comfortable. You're fighting the guitar. So what we're going to do is drill into the back plate right here, put the strap button here. All right. Now, some people online have told me, don't do that. You're going to lose value to the guitar. I don't give a crap. This is not about cork sniffing or Gibson collecting. This is about having a guitar that plays well and that is, you know, a joy to play. So I'm gonna keep this forever. So I don't care if it's worth $5 or $5,000. I'm keeping it, and this is for me to play. So let's get it perfect. All right. Moment of truth. Did this fix the neck dive? All right, let's get the strap on. And no neck dive whatsoever. Perfect. And the guitar's in the perfect playing position now. If we look compared to before, the strap goes down pretty much parallel to my body, and it was kind of going sideways before, so it was like pulling the guitar this way. Now, perfect playing position. So definitely a great upgrade. So if you have one of these, just do what I did. The guitar is done. I am in love with this thing. It plays amazingly well. It looks awesome. I am in love with the DiMarzio Utopias. People don't talk about those pickups enough. They sound amazing from metal. But you guys saw what the guitar looked like when I got it and the whole story. Now I think it's time to hear it in the context of a mix. So check out this video of Sepultura's Territory that was entirely recorded with this thing, the Jackson Pro Series KE3 made in Japan, that I will probably keep for the rest of my life because I love this thing. So thanks guys for sticking around, and see you in the next video.